Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, everybody. What most people call a hump day, I'm changing the name to Hope Day, at least for the next 4 weeks. So I hope you'll join me here for the next 4 weeks for a series that I'm doing about hope. And literally, I've been on the biggest test of my hope probably over the past little over a year. And it has definitely tested me. I want to tell you that I am a little bit under the weather with the traveling that I've been doing and on the planes and whatever. And so if you see me drinking, that's what I'm doing. It's my green juice, and I'm gonna kick this little whatever thing is out. So our series that I'm doing, my name again is, well, not again, I haven't told you yet. My name is Doughty, and I am the founder of Live Excellence, and I'm basically a lifestyle entrepreneur coach. What the heck is that? Because I am 51 and a half, I have learned a lot, and part of what I'm going to tell you today has to do with what I've learned because of the choices that I've made and how I can kind of help you navigate through some of the things in life that maybe, you just don't have the tools for. So, again, today is about hope. Hope is a journey. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And then next Wednesday, there's an acronym for hope, which I'm not going to give away because you'll have to join in to find out. So HOPE stands for something that I think that you will love and appreciate. And the third week will be, what does hope have to do with it? These are a little bit vague, but that's on purpose because I want you to join me. And then the last one on August 4th will be hope against hope. It's actually one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, and it has such a layered meaning and context that no matter what your beliefs are, it's something that you can cling to and hold on to and use when you're in a gray or dark place. And when you're in a good place, you can pass on to other people. So today, like I said, I want to share with you about how hope for me has been literally my journey up to this point, and I'll explain. And when we finish, I'll give you kind of 3 lessons that I've learned, and maybe there'll be tools that you can take away and apply to what you're going through. And I often get asked by a lot of people, how did you move away from everything that you know and was safe and familiar? For those of you that don't know, I grew up in Mayfield, Kentucky, which is a small town of 10,000 people. It's in the South, and it's a part of the Bible Belt. My dad was a youth minister. My mom was a school teacher, and I had an amazing childhood and in a very safe, loving, honestly like Mayberry environment, and I'm so grateful for it, and I cherish it so much. But we're all made unique and for a purpose that only we can serve. And that is why I started Live Excellence, because I have had a bar, a virtual bar, a universal bar, a whatever bar you want to call it, that I've always felt like there's more that I can do. And I take one step, and it's like, even if I take a, off step, which just takes me down a different path, because I really and truly don't believe in failure. I just believe in their lessons. So even if you take that off step, there's still a part of you that needs to learn that lesson, hopefully not more than once. And it's a part of what you're here to learn and what you are here to share. So that's what Live Excellence is about, and I call it Excellence DNA. I think all of us have our own unique excellence DNA that we are called to, and it is our duty to share with others. And part of this journey of discovering what our excellence is, what our bar is And that's where, comparison is irrelevant, because when you're paying attention to what you're here to do, it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. But that is what Live Excellence is about for me. So a lot of people are like, what is Live Excellence? And I'll be honest with you, I started it 4 years ago, knowing that I was, after 20 plus years of being in real estate, that I was, ready to move on to another level of my life and do things that I was, as much as I love houses and design and architecture and people, I wanted to take to the next level. So again, maybe through this process, you can pick up on some things that might be helpful for you. So literally, I left all of that was safe for me and moved to Atlanta. I can't even really remember why I picked Atlanta. I do remember that my mom and I went to Dallas because my degree was in fashion merchandising and marketing. And we went to Dallas to the apparel mart, and on the drive there, it was horrific. It was rainy. It was awful. And my poor mom had to listen to me just chat away the whole way there, because I was like white knuckling it all the way there, just trying to keep myself awake, I guess. But Dallas the flatlands just didn't do it for me. I'm very connected with nature, and I need to see, and anyway, TMI, I guess. So I moved to Atlanta. I literally packed my cute little Volkswagen Cabriolet and drove to Atlanta, no job. I know, crazy. And for those of you that live in Atlanta, you will laugh at this. I stayed at a hotel off of Jimmy Carter Boulevard. Crazy. Anyway, long and short of it is, I ended up working for Rich's department store and started out at Lenox Square, two totally different areas of Atlanta. I lived there for 3 years, moved to Hilton Head, came back to Atlanta after I got married, and from there took another leap besides getting a divorce, which for women, just so you guys know, is like a death. So it's our duty to keep the family together. And I know it's hard on men, but for women, it's been my experience and my conversations with my friends that have gone through this, that it is harder, or I guess just we feel it in a different way. So from there, again, going through a divorce I was 31 or 32 at the time, and I had a great career in real estate with Harry Norman, and I had so much shame, and I literally did not feel like I could look at anybody. I know that sounds crazy, but my mom for sure freaked out when I got divorced, and she's like, you have to come home. Well, I love my sweet town, but that wasn't going to work for me. And so I moved to Nashville. Long and short of it is, 2 years later, after that, I picked up again, and no job, sold everything I had, and moved to California and worked 3 jobs, just hustling wherever I could to find my niche. I worked in real estate. I had a job with a newspaper, and I was a personal assistant to a semi-known celebrity. And anyway, so my point in kind of telling you that, so 18 years later, here I am. I lived in Malibu specifically for 14 years. That in and of itself was a journey. About 2007, I had been living with a wonderful girlfriend of mine named Jill in Orange County, and she was so kind because I was financially not at a place to really have a lot, and she shared her freaking master bedroom with me. So without someone like her, there was no way that I would have gone on to do the things that I did. So I'm completely indebted to her and adore her and her beautiful family. But my point being that I will tell you what I did was I moved from staying, we separated the rooms, but sleeping in a comfortable queen size bed to on her couch. I literally moved myself to her couch and said, I have got to I wanted to go to Malibu and start my spa business. So I just made myself so uncomfortable that it just manifested itself. So it sounds crazy, but honestly, within a week of me doing that, I had moved to the Pacific Palisades, got 2 jobs, one with Curves at the time and one with a real estate agent, in between me building my spa. And all through that, from opening up my spa, which was insane in Malibu, I mean, just for those of you that don't know, there are a lot of, I could drop a lot of names, it's irrelevant, but the power players that are there, I mean, it just was such a unique experience. And from that to building Monarch, and at the end of 2016, after as real estate goes, we decided that there was just no point in us having an office. Literally, I was the only one that basically showed up. So because of that, 2.5 years before that decision, I started Live Excellence, because like I said, I knew that was going to be the progression of my path and the journey that I was going on. So this journey of hope is literally about just constantly taking a step of faith and knowing and hoping that the next piece of floor, if you want to call it, the next piece of life is going to meet your foot and be there for you. So I want to make sure I'm staying on track here. Turning 50, going through the things that us women do, and by the way, men, you go through these things as well, not to the same level, but you have your own version of what we go through. But it literally was an emotional roller coaster for me, and that sounds a little bit dramatic or whatever, but it was, and I hate the word midlife crisis. I'm a part of the Gen X generation, and there are a lot of things that the millennials enjoy because of the things that we created, and the boldness with which we stepped out and just didn't stay within the box. As a disclaimer, very quick here, I want to make sure that you understand that there is no right way. I'm telling you my journey. If you are someone, for example, that grew up in my hometown of Mayfield and never left, praise God. We all have our own path, and there's no right or wrong way. So I want to make sure that in this conversation that I'm sharing with you, that it's not about how I did it. It's you paying attention to what's right for you. So the key for me was, at that point, was really the catalyst for me stepping into what I'm doing right now. And guys, I'm here, I'm talking to you. And at this moment in time, there's no one watching me, at least according to the numbers. So I could turn that into something that could be a very dark, negative story. But the truth is that I know that I have helped a lot of people, and I have to share my journey, because I know that there are strength in numbers, and there's, more importantly, strength in our stories. So just like me sharing at the beginning that I'm a little bit under the weather, sometimes we walk around and you see, hey, how are you? Oh, I'm fine, I'm great. And the truth of the matter is, underneath the surface, you're not having a great day. Now, I'm not saying it's ideal for us to just puke all over people and tell all this crap that's been going on. I'm just saying, let's be a little more authentic. I really, really, really did not feel like getting on here and doing this. My throat's scratchy and like a little, anyway, but I'm committed to sharing my passion. And for those of you that don't know, a little over 3 weeks ago, I lost my precious little pup, Stella, and it has been excruciating. And I will talk further about that on the next one of the Wednesdays coming up. And it just, for those of you that are fur baby moms or whatever little silly sayings that we have, I just, I want to share part of that and how I feel like it relates to what all of us go through. So that I can stay on track and not just keep rambling, these are the 3 lessons that I've learned so far. Comparison, a lot of people say this, comparison is the thief of joy. Well, there's a lot of things that are in life that are the thief of joy. I can tell you, losing my Stella, who literally was joy personified every single day, has made me realize how much I leaned on her. A dog, yeah, me. I leaned on her to make me smile. So now there's this big, like if you could see me spiritually, there's like this big gap that's the joy's gone. And I'm slowly starting to find a way to close that hole, but it just comes. So I truly think that hesitation is, there's a quote that hesitation is not only the thief of joy, but it will crush your hope. And the quote actually is, fear causes hesitation, and hesitation will cause your worst fears to come true. And I say that because I did not hesitate to jump in my car, pack it up on a mid-June time for Atlanta and mid-July for California, and just go. I did not hesitate. I knew what I was supposed to do, and I just went with what was there. And that leads me to my second lesson. And I will give this credit, and I don't remember his name, but he was a pastor in Nashville when I lived there. And quite honestly, he could have been the catalyst for why I left. But he compares like the journey of hope to, like, imagine if you were in a beautiful field with an amazing pond, and on that pond, like that Monet painting, there's all of these beautiful lily pads and, the pink lotus flowers, and just beautiful. So hope being a journey is like you stepping into that pond, onto the lily pad, and as you know, the further you get away from the shore, the fewer lily pads that there are. So if you are going through life, you have to think and know that that next lily pad is going to pop up to the surface and be there for you so that you can take the next step. So I hope that's helpful for you, because I know it's always been helpful for me just to think that, whether you believe in God or not, but there's always going to be that support. When you step out in faith and you believe, it will rise to the surface. It may not rise to the surface how you expect to see it, and the fewer expectations you have, the happier you're going to be. But it is such a great symbol of how, when we walk through this life, that those lily pads will be there for us. So don't hesitate. Have hope that that lily pad will pop up. And, you know, the third lesson, which I spoke about briefly, is, you know, being 51, and, you know, in our early 20s, it's all about, you know, just making things happen and discovering who we are, and just that it's like a snake that's trying to slither out of its skin. You know, we're like, oh, I want to get rid of all of that and become what I'm supposed to be. And we, you know, we think we're going to arrive. Well, the truth is, you know, and God knows we all will have a lot more lessons as we age. But to this point, I now realize that the journey is what it is all about. It is not about my destination and where I'm going next. It is about where I am right now. And the more that we as friends, strangers, share this hope, share our journey more authentically, the more we do that, it's going to elevate each of us that much more. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope this has been your hope. It's not hump day, it's a hope day, Wednesday. I hope this has been helpful for you. And next week, we're going to be talking about an acronym for hope. Again, another tool that you can use when life seems a little bit heavy and you need something to lift you up. So cheers to your health, and cheers to you being the best you that you can be. You can find out more about me at liveexcellence.com. Bless you, and I hope you'll join me next Wednesday. Be well.